what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to DOT Compliance on Auto Transport Intel. It is Wednesday. It is noon Central Time. Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Let me turn up the audio here a little bit. Make sure you can hear me okay. Let me know in the live chat. Please do say hello. Let me know if you've got a question, if you can hear me okay. If you, actually, we got something cool happening today. We got something special. We're going to be going live with Ty. We're going to bring in Brian in a minute, then we're going to bring in Ty in a few minutes. We have something that we're going to try and do. Do me a favor. If you are interested in learning about regulations and business in trucking, today we're going to cover freight and car hauling, it looks like. Go ahead and click share, click copy, grab that YouTube link. Please leave a like. Do that as well. And also, if you're getting started, go to autotransportintel.com, click on sign up, become an ATI insider, and ask your questions. Let us know how we can help you. All right, this is going to be cool. We got some, I can already hear some stuff happening in the wings. What's going on, Carlos? What's going on, Candy? So let's do this. Let's bring in, I'm gonna mute Ty for a second. I'm gonna bring in Brian. And Brian, okay, so there's Ty waiting in the wings. Brian, can you see me okay? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can, Jay, and thank you for muting Ty, because all I could hear over your intro was him and his special guest in the hallway.
Exactly. So I'm in the, okay, so I'm looking at the live chat. We got Brian over here. Now, Brian, you're on a tight lunch break today, right? You've got to go 12:30 sharp.
Yes, remember, I'm still a practitioner. I still drive a truck from time to time, and today has not been a very good day, but we'll do the show. We'll do what we need. Happy to answer your questions. I'm here for you guys.
We appreciate you taking the time because everybody out on the road knows exactly what you're talking about, right? Could you imagine trying to go live at noon every Wednesday, given your tight schedule, the waiting and the phone calls and all that, the appointments?
Yeah.
Right. So JLR is with us. What's up, JLR? We saw you last night. Thank you so much. David at Two Bears with us. John from LAI is with us. What's up, John? Of course, Candy, she's got a question for you. Now, what we're going to do, okay, before we go any further, let's do this. Let's go to the gallery shot. Okay, we still have, I think Ty is with Lewie. So before we do anything further, this is a bit of a different show. Ty is live with Lewie Pugh of OOIDA at the Truck to Success event in Blue Springs, Missouri. This is where OOIDA reaches out. They do, I think it's an annual multi-day, and I think this year it's a hybrid. I think you can either go in person or be on Zoom and learn more about building a trucking business, since that's what we're all about on DOT Compliance, keeping you safe and sound. It made sense to catch up with Ty and Lewie. So, Ty, whenever you're ready, just let me know. Otherwise, we're going to keep going with the show as normal. Sound good, Brian?
Yes, it does. You want to get the Candy's question for her so that we can get that out of the way and make sure she gets a good answer?
So, Candy hasn't Candy, if you want to post it in the live chat, and then we'll read that when we get to it. John says, just wants to give a shout out to Brian. Thank you for all the advice you give me through these last weeks. I'm getting this company up and running. I really appreciate everything. Thank you, John. That is awesome. And thank you, Brian.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that is super cool. What we're going to do is, number one, we bet you can't stump Brian, your DOT guy, but we want you to try. So go ahead and put your stumper in the live chat. Okay, I got a special how we doing. So, okay, have you seen this? Oh, boy. First of all, yeah. What do you... All right, I'm just going to play it. Here we go. Ready?
Go for it.
Okay, number one, I just want to say it's not what you expected, right? Because nothing happens.
Yeah.
But what could happen?
Well, if the driver is not very aware of their load, And he has that loaded the best way he could for the equipment he has.
I was thinking that too.
For those of you on the podcast, we have a crew cab pickup truck pulling your typical 3-car, 3-axle wedge trailer, loaded with a couple of either mid or high roof transit vans. They look like the high roof, set up for delivery for a major online retailer. So the vans themselves are fairly light. They're probably only 7,000 pounds. So he's within, I've taken a wild guess at it, but even if he's trying to be non-CDL, he's within what he can haul on that trailer and be right at that 26,000 pound threshold. I see straps over the wheels. The vehicles look secured. Now it's hard to see on my little screen because I'm in the truck today. I'm not using my big monitor.
I agree with you. Yep, I see.
He's got the first van. Yep, he's got the first van is backed on. Second van is nosed on. The heaviest part is the engine on these vans, which is near the center of his trailer on the bridge between the truck and trailer axles. He's got it loaded just right. The only thing that would concern me with this is the high center of gravity on windy days because of the size of those vans. He's probably close to 13.6 tall, but I don't even think he's over height. Maybe a little bit, but I don't know what part of the country he's in. He may be in a 14-foot state. So all in all, I don't see anything wrong with this. I can't see if there's numbers on the door of the truck, and I can't quite make out, but is that a single rear wheel or a dually, Jay?
Well, you ask a good question. That looks like single.
That might be the only issue here, is if that's a single rear wheel, he's a little light on his rear axle capacity, but with hollow shells of a van loaded backwards, he may not be over. He's pretty
that's
close,
a single wheel.
So, yeah, that's probably a 9,000 pound axle. He's close to over on his weight, but I don't think this is this driver's first rodeo. I can't find anything on here that gives me major concern other than he might be close to his rear axle weight rating. And on a windy day, that would make me a little nervous being that tall.
And so I'm really glad. So this was shared by one of our viewers, and I am not here to say, I'm not the judge. And that's why, Brian, I wanted your expert opinion. At a glance, when I look at it, it makes me nervous.
Yep.
Am I alone?
No, you're not. And that's why the wedge-style trucks have as much contact with motor carrier enforcement as they do, because optics is everything. And I don't want to go political here, but just the way things are said or present themselves, just the way they look, can lead to deeper scrutiny, lead to some incorrect enforcement, and lead to some flat-out harassment. So quick optics, that looks like it might be heavy, looks like it might be big, might be the wrong equipment choice. But if we dig into it, he's probably not doing anything illegal or even unsafe.
Incredible. An incredible
I'll get my head handed to me. Send the hate mail to onair at YourDOTGuy.com or send the hate mail to Jay at whatever.
Send it to Ty. No.
There you go.
There you go. All right. So this was interesting. Here's a bit of a follow-up. And Ty, we're ready for you whenever you're ready. We're just going to keep doing news until you're ready, Ty. Check this out. Just as a follow-up. So it was a GPS that led that guy.
She didn't send the message.
Ooh, let's see what's going on until we'll come back to that.
And so I know Deb.
Are you there?
Hey, what's going on?
Let's do this right now.
Let's do it. We're ready.
Okay, come here, Rob. Oh, step on in here. Can you guys hear me? Now I know you can't hear Jay because he's in my ear. But this is my buddy Jay.
Hi, Jay. I know Jay.
Hey,
Howdy,
up,
Jay.
Louie?
This is Rod.
Hey.
Rod is the COO for OOIDA. Louie, tell us where he came from.
He came from D.C. He is the guy who pretty much built our office and set everything up and got our regular lobbyist and everything. Before Rod, we were pretty much using paid for Todd, and Rod made us official and made us real in D.C. He is the guy that got the OOIDA name all over the hill, good or bad.
Hopefully mostly
job.
good.
Wow.
And Ty,
This is Brian.
Well, hey, Brian.
Yes.
You know Brian
Riker?
I know the
Rod should
name.
know
I
me
don't know if we've crossed
Yes,
paths before, have we?
Towing and
Looking
Recovery
familiar.
Association of America, all the insurance calls this year. I was there with Bill Johnson.
Gotcha. Yes, yes.
You remember Bill Johnson, TRAA?
Yep.
Yes. So I follow
Good to see
you
you.
guys. I talk to Mike Matuzik quite a bit as well. Sometimes we're on opposite sides of issues. A lot of times we're together. But
Yep.
I like what you've done with your lobbying group down there. You do a great job.
Well, thank you. Thank you. We're blessed with some good, passionate, committed folks.
That's all good.
Mm-hmm. So Brian does our DOT. So we have a show on Wednesday at noon for car haulers because we're all car haulers.
Okay.
Brian helps us keep our stuff together straight.
Great.
He helps encourage everybody how to do it the right way. So
Great.
he's part of our deal. Then on Thursdays, we do dispatching live off of a load board to help carriers try to figure out
wow.
a better way to do business. And on Friday, I'm in a transport parking lot at an auction talking to car dealers, auctions, and car haulers. So this is kind of our little community.
Wow.
And we like to tell people about OOIDA. What is OOIDA?
The Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association, the largest trade organization representing the rights and interests of small business truckers and drivers
Well said,
in the
Lewie
United
Pugh.
States.
Yeah. Well said.
So if car hauler, trucking, doesn't matter, you can be a member of OOIDA, right?
Yeah, anybody can be a member. I mean, anybody can be a member, but driver, a lot of times people get confused when they hear our name, the Owner-Operator Independent Drivers Association. They think only owner-operators can be. No, drivers can be too. I mean, the independent driver part of our title goes back to previous of deregulation, which back then meant a driver who wasn't a Teamster, but was an independent driver. So by all means, drivers, small business carriers, owner-operators, anybody be a member. We are the largest. The thing that sets OOIDA apart from the people, ATA and a lot of these other groups, is we're started by truckers. We're still governed by truckers. Our president was a trucker. I was a trucker. Our board of directors are all truckers that govern us. So we are still actually ran by truckers and truckers at the top, and that will never change. That's what I think gives OOIDA the most clout over anyone. We live what we're talking about.
Yep. Well said.
Well said. That's great. So if we,
I can
Jay, did you
appreciate
put out in
that,
the live
Lewie.
chat how to get a hold of OOIDA? Let me see if Jay can hear us or not.
Oh yeah, I can hear you. So say that again.
Did you put that in the live chat? How to get a hold of OOIDA?
I just put the link to the OOIDA, the continuing education. This is the link to Truck to Success. It's in the live chat right now. So if you click on that, you'll go to the page.
We're at an event right
That's
now.
right. That's right.
And it's the Truck to Success.
That is correct.
What's that about?
Truck to Success is something we have a foundation, a nonprofit foundation, and they do a lot of our research on, but they also do a lot of education stuff for us. If you get on our website, you can look at videos and all kinds of things that foundation put out for education of truckers. Well, one thing that we've taken a little farther is we do this once a year generally. It's called Truck to Success. It's to take it, and I don't like to pigeonhole, I guess, per se, but it's mainly designed to take guys who are truck drivers but want to become owner operators and take them through all the steps. Specking, and I mean, we go from A to Z, creating a business plan, specking a truck, new, used, financing, how you're going to finance the truck, plating, permitting, leasing to a carrier, what to look for with a carrier, moving on to getting your own authority, doing your payroll. We have tax people here, talk about how to set up, whether you want to be a corporation, sole proprietor, how to set up your business, what you can write off your taxes, what you can't. We have load board service come in here and talk about how to use load board. We also have, talk about getting your own customers, setting up your own customer base, dealing with brokers. This is 3 days of intensive training. But I also like to say, if you're already an owner operator, we have quite a few people here that are already owner operators. Some lease, some have their authority. Maybe you're struggling. Maybe we tell you a lot of things because unfortunately there's no trucking for dummies book out there. Is what I say. I know when I bought my first truck at 22, I made a lot of dumb mistakes, and there was a lot of things that I kind of fumbled around till I figured it out. And that's what I had to do. I had to figure it out. Because you can't really learn, I mean, no disrespect, but there's a lot of truck stop lawyers at the truck stops out there sitting at the counter that's going to tell you how to do your business, but generally that does not work.
No.
Here we have either it's our experts who deal with these issues every single solitary day instructing you, and where we don't have experts at OOIDA, we get experts from the field to come in here, the people who know what they're talking about, they're trained, this is stuff they ever do every day to talk to you. So again, anybody that's thinking about becoming an owner-operator, if you're an owner-operator and you're struggling, or you're a lease or carrier and you want to take that next step, I strongly urge you, this isn't a very expensive class. It was around $500. That's for 3 days of knowledge. If you come in here, which I like to get people to come be present. We do offer a Zoom as well for people who can't. But the biggest thing you miss by not being here is the networking. And there's so much networking that goes on during breaks and after hours. For example, the guy who comes and talks about taxes, Barry Fowler with Taxation Solutions, he does a great job. He's here all 3 days. And you can talk to him on breaks. You can talk to him at the bar in the hotel lobby if you want. and he loves to talk, and he's a great guy.
And add to that all access to all the experts from OOIDA.
Exactly, you have
amazing people.
Access. I mean, I've had a couple people come over already from the office to talk to our guys. I've brought people, and yesterday some people asked me questions I didn't. I got them the answers and got them today to them. So there's just so much here you can learn, and to me, it's what I tell people. If you're going to buy a truck and a trailer, that is probably going to be the most expensive investment in your life, even more than your house when you figure how much goes into buying a truck and trailer. Spend $500, take 3 days, 4 days off, come to Kansas City, take this class before you ever make that next step. It will save you money. And, we have people who take this class, and when they're done, they're like, I don't want to be an owner-operator anymore. And that's a victory, too, because if you know that you don't want to do something now, you saved yourself buying that truck, losing it, whatever bad things happen to you, you saved yourself all that by spending $500 in the beginning. So, here at OOIDA, we love truckers. There's nothing more better was out there than truckers as far as we are concerned, our staff. Amen. And we want to see truckers be successful and be profitable, and that's part of the reason in every way we can.
Whoa. Yeah, he's right. It's 3 days, it's packed full, and you come away with the resources that you can refer to for literally the rest of your career.
Exactly.
Brian appreciate this on top of everything that Lewie was talking about. We have all of our compliance, our regulatory experts come in and talk through everything that you need to do to make sure you keep DOT off your back. Our drug and alcohol testing consortium, we talk through insurance, we talk literally soup to nuts, everything that you need to know. And it's a lot, though. I mean, it is a lot to take in 3 days, but it is. We're very proud of the program.
And the only other thing I would like to add is if if you're out there thinking about whether it be an OOIDA member or what's OOIDA do, I mean, I hear all the time, what's OOIDA do for me? We get a lot of discounts. There's a lot of discounts. You can get your money back discounts. But what I think is more valuable than anything, for $45 a year, that's all it's going to cost you. $35 at a truck show. But if you call in and mention my name, you'll get it for $35 as well. But for $35 to $45, you have complete access to a lot of experts on permitting, licensing. Even if you don't get your permits or stuff through OOIDA, we'll answer your questions. We'll help. If you want to do them yourself, we'll help you get there. Also, we have a compliance department, which that's worth it all. If you get pulled over by a cop, you have a ticket you don't understand, you're leasing to a carrier and you need a contract looked at, or a broker care agreement you want looked at, or you're buying a truck and you want a finance contract looked at, any kind of rule, regulation, equipment issue, equipment problem, you can call those guys. They will look those contracts over for you. They will get you answers to your problems. We may not be able to fix it, but we can steer you, if nothing else, in the right direction. And you get all that for free if you're a member of OOIDA. And to me, one bad contract being caught is worth $45 for a lot of years.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Wow, that's great. I'm going to take this off so they can hear you, Jay.
Great. I was
I might
thinking that
lose
too.
you.
Perfect.
Hold
No,
on a
that's
second.
perfect.
Last night when we were doing the show, I turned this off and we lost you. So hold on.
All right, here we go. Hang on tight. Check, check. Mic 1, 2. Can you hear me?
Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Wait.
Okay, so he's going to change the mic. And
There we go.
Now we can hear you.
All right, you can hear me. I can hear you. You can hear me. That's great. Ty, you're doing a great job, by the way. Thank you.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
I got some good guys here.
Well, we
Really
do.
awesome.
And Lewie, you lay it out really well. What I want to do, I'm going to hand the mic over to Brian because Brian's on a tight timeline. Brian, reactions.
I believe in the mission of OOIDA. I've been an OOIDA member. I forget how long, but I've been an OOIDA member myself. And to add to what Lewie had to say about all the support you get, the advocacy is second to none. We don't all have time to go to DC or go to the state houses ourselves, but we can do that effectively with one voice as an association. Personally, I don't care what association you join multiple associations. They are important to the survival of your business. Even if you are a company driver and not an owner, they're important to the survival of your career. So we need to be involved, folks, or we're going to continue to have people making rules that we have to live with that we had no input on.
Right.
Amen, brother.
For sure.
And your compliance crew,
No, sir.
no. Your compliance department, guys, does a fabulous job because when I get an OOIDA member that comes to my compliance company, they already understand most of this, and I don't have to spend hours educating them first. So that's important, too, to get the message out there.
Right.
You do a great job getting that message out there. It makes my job easier as a consultant. And like you said, you're founded by truck drivers. You're governed by truck drivers. That's part of my deal. I'm not just some guy in a suit. I'm a practitioner. I still get out here when I can and play with a truck, as you can see from my backdrop today. And it keeps me current with what our audience, our ecosystem, as we call it here at the Auto Transport Intel channel, keeps me current with what they're facing day to day so that I can stay sympathetic to it instead of just putting on my blinders and looking in the book. So that's what I appreciate about your organization as well.
That's great.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. And the only thing I would add to what you said about the advocacy part is join the association, but listen to it. When they send things out to you about calling your members of Congress, do it. We all got time when we're driving to pick up our phone and talk to our buddies. Call your congressman and do what they, because that grassroots is where we win. We don't win with money, power, or anything. Of grassroots is how we win. And we can't do it if we don't have the grassroots support behind us.
As somebody who used to work on Capitol Hill back in the day, don't hold it against me. Don't hold it against me. But yeah, once upon a time. But I will tell you, people discount how effective they can be as an advocate for themselves and for their industry far too often. If you are persistent in contacting your lawmakers and their staff, you really can make a difference. Maybe not get it all the way where you want it to be, but you can absolutely make a difference. You can become a resource for that lawmaker, right? We assume a lot of times that lawmakers know everything or they should know everything, but if they're not hearing from an association like OOIDA or others, and they're not hearing from constituents that are small business trucking or what have you, they're not going to know. So you can become a resource for a lawmaker, and I'm telling you, it can work. The key is persistence, of course.
And don't think for 1 minute that the people that are against you aren't calling, because they're calling all the time. And like Rod, follow up to Rod, I know Mike Matuzik has been on your show multiple times. Mike Matuzik used to be a staffer in a congressional office, and he tells that story a lot. He had a trucker call in complaining at him for why they did. They ended up becoming friends, and anytime a trucking bill came up, he called that guy, that trucker, to say, hey, what can you tell me about this as a staffer, and then report that back to Congressman. So it does make a difference.
That trucker was an OIDA member, by the way.
Yeah.
Just saying. Just saying.
And you bring up an excellent point, Lewie, that don't get discouraged if you don't get to speak to your lawmaker directly. The staffer is oftentimes more important than the lawmaker, and the staffer is career. So they go from office to office and they take their contacts with them. I have some staffers I work with for some of the other associations that have been with several different lawmakers over the last 10 years, but they remember me as their resource for what they need. So don't get discouraged if it's the staffer. They're the ones you want to talk to anyhow.
Yeah, you're correct. 99.9% of the time, that's all you're ever going to talk to is a staffer. Usually what I tell people is call, ask for whoever's in charge of transportation. If you get them, write down their name and talk to them. And if they can't give you a straight answer on what you're asking, tell them you'll follow up with them in a week and call back and make sure you do.
That's how you do it, guys. You got a problem, pick up the phone.
Exactly.
Make it happen.
When that's one of the things I like that we're talking about is there's a structure and a logic and an understanding of the scope that trucking, like you said, you can't be on the fuel island talking to a truck stop lawyer and that's all you needed to know. It is not even close. In fact, that's a terrible way to start.
That's some of the worst advice that folks get. So yes, please don't contact your association at OOIDA and their compliance department or another professional that is their actual business, because you'll get some really bad advice from the London County crowd.
Some wonderful people. But,
Yes,
not so great advice. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, so what's the next step here, Louis? After lunch, you got more going on?
Yeah, we got this starts on this Truck to Success. We start on Tuesday morning at 7:30 at breakfast, 8 o'clock class from 8 to 5, and the same thing today. We're on lunch right now. They'll come back at 1 and be here till 5, and then again tomorrow from 7:30 to 5. So like I said, it's a long 3 days. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of information to get out there. We kind of baptize them with a fire hose, I guess you would say. But I mean, it's got to get out there. But the good thing is they take the material home with them. You know, they take business cards home with them. If they have problems, questions, a week from now, they can call in and get those answered, you know, whatever. So it's a great thing.
And be on the lookout. I mean, obviously we're into this seminar right now, but the foundation will be putting out some more live webinars, kind of give you a taste of what you get here.
Right.
For free too. And so be on the lookout for that to be coming out in the next couple months.
Yeah, we put some stuff on Facebook in the past. Andrew King, who works for our foundation, and myself, we actually did one segment of this on Facebook Live a couple months ago. Maybe we'll do some more stuff like that. I'm sure we'll have a next one. You can be on the lookout for next year. It hasn't been scheduled or anything yet, but it'll be coming out. You can always call us and ask us. If nothing else, we'll take your name and phone number and call you back when we know we're going to have it.
And we have plenty of videos out on YouTube as well, with the foundation and the association, with a lot of great information. It's not sales pitches. It's a charge. It's the charge
Online
that we
education.
have. Yeah, education. It's the charge that we have as part of our advocacy from our board of directors. Our board of directors are all professional truckers, and they've given us the charge not only on the advocacy front that we talked about, but educating and empowering our members, and that's what we're all about.
And I think that's a good point. With Truck to Success, there isn't anything you come here. This isn't an infomercial for OOIDA products or anybody of our other people who are partner with us products. They're here to teach you, instruct you. They may say this is how we do it, that's how we do it, but there's no pressure. This is no kind of sales pitch to buy anything from OOIDA or any of our partners that are here helping us. It is to educate you on how to be a successful owner operator, and that is it, 110%.
Hey, that's what we do. We should talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Well, I cut about probably 10 minutes of the insurance. And then I met Nancy. She said, yeah, you can go on in there. So I went in there. And probably that 10 minutes, guys, we talk about insurance a lot. But to back up what you're saying, that was very educational from the perspective. I caught her talking about dash cams and about looping. I didn't know about that. Yeah. Brian, did you know about the looping after you have an accident?
Yes. We have to be careful not to destroy the evidence. We have to be careful to capture that evidence. We got to hope that your camera actually captured it like it should and protect that evidence, because you don't ever want to be accused of deliberately destroying evidence in a case, especially where you may be at fault on that. And dash cams are important. I travel with my own portable one in everything I'm in, whether it's a rental car or whatnot. They're very important.
Yeah. So point being, it's really happening. I'm really here, very educational, and these guys are real as it gets. I overdressed, right?
Yeah, you did.
Come on, Ty.
Yeah, but we weren't thinking that. So you look good, Ty.
Hey,
Right on.
also, just so everybody knows, I believe somebody told me you were hanging out with somebody special the other night.
Who's that?
Glenn Beck?
Yeah, I was on Glenn Beck Monday morning.
I was just listening
Yeah,
to it.
Yes.
You
How
were
was
on with,
that?
yeah. Tell us more.
It was fantastic. I mean, I used to listen to Glenn a lot when I was driving trucks, so it was kind of fun to be on his show. And we were talking about the supply chain issues and everything going on out in California with the ports, and you know how we have this huge driver turnover problem that other associations call something else, but it's a driver turnover problem. We'll leave it at that.
Well, and I'll tell you what. Okay, I happen to know, because I was in LA for quite a while, and I happen to know this, that the ports, the operation, the crane operators at the ports, there's your bottleneck. Tell me I'm wrong.
Amen. That's
Yeah.
if you
I
go
know
to
that.
if you go to OIDA's Facebook, you can find where I was on Glenn Beck, and you can listen to where I was on, and that's pretty much what I told him.
Yeah.
It ain't the trucker's
And
fault. It's
I
the
didn't work at the
efficiency and
ports, but it
loading
is.
and unloading of the trucks.
And you said it. Those long lines of trucks, if you add more trucks, you get longer lines. You don't get
That's
faster.
exactly what
Yeah,
I've
you're
been
totally
telling
right.
people. Yes.
Yeah.
So, amen. The only good thing the one thing I will add about Glenn, just to my own, at the end, Glenn said he loved me, so that's great.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
follow Glenn.
That always feels good. Well, Louie,
I think we got
Rod, yeah, we appreciate you guys.
Hey, we
so much.
appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys too, and I'm sorry with things with my COVID, we didn't get together sooner, but
No
we got
problem at
this
all.
to work.
We got
Don't
it.
worry, Louie's
Thank
got
you.
COVID.
Oh, yeah.
And we don't, we're really worried about it if you can't
Yeah,
tell.
I'm really worried.
All right. Well, Brian,
Okay.
sorry to cut in on your show today, but thank you very much.
And anything
No
else you
problem.
guys
This is
need from
important
us,
to have
don't
out.
hesitate to ask.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Nice to
Louie.
meet you, Brian.
let's stay in touch, okay?
Yeah,
Yes,
we will.
Yep.
Definitely. All right.
All
Definitely.
right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you,
Thanks,
gentlemen. Be
Thank
safe
you,
out
guys.
there.
Awesome. And I know that, I mean, you're basically out of time, Brian. I'll take whatever I can get. I want to say this. And it's it's great. It's not like this segment, it's not like it's skyrocketed our views or anything, and that wasn't the intention. The intention is that the need to expand and continue the reach and the message, because it is such a big scope message. We're doing it, and that is awesome. Brian, this was an amazing segment today. And actually, I was thinking this too, because you were talking, you've got something coming up, and we'll find out more about that. But we know you speak at engagements. You write articles in the towing industry. And so as our reach continues to expand, you're even connected to tell the government regulation DC stuff, right?
I'm a member of the Commercial Vehicle Safety Alliance, which is the group that oversees motor carrier enforcement officers. I'm a member of the Illinois Truck Enforcement Association, founding member of the Independent Automobile Transporters Alliance, lobbyist member of the Towing and Recovery Association of America, the Pennsylvania Towing Association, Southwest Tow Operators, and I know I'm forgetting something in there. So, like the folks at OOIDA, I am an advocate for the small business trucker, the trucking industry, and I just love this industry, so I give back to it as often as possible. And it was great to have Louie and Rod on today because they're promoting the same message, education. This isn't just a job. You're running a business. You need to think like a businessman, educate yourself. It never stops. I read books every day, every week. I had a 2-hour flight yesterday afternoon. I spent 2 hours catching up on stuff I downloaded on the iPad, not entertainment, but reading on latest regulations and rules and court decisions so that I know what's going on out there so I can digest it and then give it to you and for what you need to know. and that's what we're here for.
Right, and case law and precedent never ends.
Exactly.
Never.
In fact, just before we went on air, I had a call from someone who's eagerly waiting my opinion on something, and I'm waiting for, this is where having an affiliate membership with these associations help, because I went straight to the source to get an answer for this gentleman's court case tomorrow, and I'm just waiting for them to get back to me so that we can walk in and have the right information. So with that said, did we get any questions in the live chat today? I'd hate to leave somebody hanging.
Thank you so much. We do have, okay, so John has a specific ELD question. He says, let me find it here. Oh, he took it away. Well, here's what I think it was. I think I remember the question, and it may not have been John. But if you stay within 150 miles, are you ELD exempt? And I think what you're going to go into is how many days in the calendar.
Well,
right?
the short answer is
Okay.
if you stay within the 150 air mile radius of your normal work reporting location, leave from and return to the same place, and are relieved of all duty within 14 hours, then you are ELD and paper logbook exempt, as long as you keep a true and accurate time record at your principal place of business, at your office. So it can be handwritten on a notebook. It doesn't have to be a time card or anything fancy, but that's the basics of the short haul exemption from using a logbook, and that exempts you from paper or electronic.
And so follow up, even if, so for 29 days, I'm over the road, but on day 30, I stay within 150, I'm exempt for that day?
Not really. You'll need
Yeah.
to do your log for that day. The exception works the other way. So if for 29 days you're local, then you take that one long distance trip, then you only have to do a logbook for that day you're on the long distance trip. So think of it inversely of the way you just presented it.
Okay, that helps. Good. Thanks for the clarification. Devin says, I have a great one-on-one with Brian last week. I had one. He pointed me in the right direction. That's Victory Lap Transport LLC. Thank you so much.
It was great to talk to you, Devin.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then we also, Silvermint was saying he learned a lot from the OOIDA YouTube videos. Leanna was expressing interest. And that's I think my final piece here is that in talking with them, it again, shines a light on the scope of how to approach this giant education piece. They've got a 3-day education course, and that is just starting a trucking company, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of continuing education. There's a lot to still learn, even as you change commodities you haul. Maybe you start out as a general dry van freight hauler, and then you want to get into tanks or automobile transportation. Look at what we focus on just on the car haul portion of trucking. There is a lot to learn to run an effective trucking company.
And I just want to say this too, is that I think what's so important about what we're doing in auto transport, because I still see in their education pieces a lot of, you got detention. Okay, that doesn't apply to auto transport, right? And lumpers and things that take all that time. We don't have that in auto transport.
Well, lumpers are coming. Lumpers are coming. Look at what the major auction houses are doing with banning outside car pullers and wanting you to use their car puller, not providing a shuttle to help you get your car. That is the auto transport version of being forced to use their guys to unload your trailer. They're just forcing us to use their in-house car puller to bring the vehicle to our trailer. Lumpers are coming to car hauling, mark my words.
Wow, dude, get a t-shirt going, because no one has ever said that in auto transport that I've ever heard of. You heard it here first.
I think differently.
Lumpers
than
are
other
coming. We need a theme song. We need a segment.
We can turn that into a segment, just not today.
All right, Brian, I know I need to let you go. I kept you long enough. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Jay. Thank you. I'll talk to you next week.
All right, stay safe on the road. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks, Brian.
Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. And I'll go to camera one. Okay, so, interesting show today. And that is part of, so my job as Commander-in-Chief of Auto Transport Intel, never said that before, and I apologize, my job is to continue to expand this channel and keep it growing and keep the content flowing. And I'm constantly networking. That's what's so interesting. What Lewie said, the reason you can get that truck to success information on Zoom, but what you're missing out is being there in person, the networking, the camaraderie, you know, even just, let's say you kind of heard something and you want to talk about it at the bar or in the hallway or whatever, you can get clarification. So if you can make it to an event, it doesn't matter what it is. Go to Matt's, go to GATS, go to Truck to Success, go to Used Car Week, Automotive Logistics, whatever the event is, you want to go to it. Oh, and Ty is calling me. Let's see what we got. Hey, I'm still live. Oh, okay, see. Okay, so I'm going to talk to Ty after the show. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything, that he had something. And so thank you, Ty. Great job today. Thank you, Lewie Pugh of OOIDA and Rod. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us on DOT Compliance. Thank you, Brian Riker, your DOT guy. Make sure that if you have a question, you want to get in touch with Brian. Here, let me put a couple things in here. You can email Brian on air at YourDOTGuy. That is the fastest way to get a hold of him. But if you're sure that you've got a DOT issue, go to YourDOTGuy.com. His company is Fleet Compliance Solutions. He wants to help you. He's an expert, and you heard the credentials. If you need a repeat of that, I'm going to have to get, yeah, it's a long list. His business card must be really big. So, and everybody that tuned in today, thank you so much. Every Wednesday, DOT Compliance, where we look at DOT regulations, information, and advice. Please do join us tomorrow, Thursdays, Dispatching Live at noon, 90 minutes. We're going to look at the load boards, dispatching advice, broker advice, carrier advice. Let us know how we can help you. Thanks for watching Auto Transport Intel. Stay safe, and we'll see you soon. Peace out, everybody.